Guys, I've been reading all your emails and I've gotten question after question. Jeff, how did you get into trading? Where did you pick up the ideas you have? Why is it that you trade the way you do? This is your opportunity to ask me all those questions. I'm always worried about what could happen in the markets. And if we've learned anything in 2020, it's that nobody knows what's going to happen next. So you really have to have a trading strategy that will insulate you from the shocks of the unknown and the unforeseen. And the only way to really do that is to have some bearish exposure by owning puts or short selling. And I have, within all of my strategies, bearish components with different levels of it. And I'm always tweaking the ratio of it, but I can't go to sleep at night unless I have a little bit of bearish exposure. And I look for stocks that are doing poorly in the environment, that are going to continue to do poorly. And I pair them with stocks that are very strong and are having unbelievable fundamentals, and the technicals are all there and perfect for the stock. So by doing so, I don't need the market to go up. I don't need the market to go sideways, and the market could even go down and I'll still make money. So the idea of getting diversification or protection in the market by buying different types of stocks long is incorrect. It's just factually incorrect. And so the only real way to protect yourself is by learning how to buy puts and learning how to be short stocks. No, I trade. So I have many different strategies, and they're all unique based on duration. So I have a swing trading strategy that'll hold the position for a week to 2 weeks. I have a monthly money flow strategy that holds a position for an entire month. And what I do with that is I look for liquidity coming into stocks in the beginning of the month, and I look for institutional buying of stocks that stands out in an atypical way. And what I like to do is I like to ride that momentum for the exact duration of 1 month. And I have a service called Monthly Money Flow Elite, where I take 9 trades and I follow that institutional money flow for exactly a little under 1 month. The idea being that institutional traders, money managers, we grade ourselves. We measure what we have to do on time. So you have to put certain positions on in 1 day. Bigger positions require more time to put on. So the CalPERS of the world, the biggest pension funds in the world, the people that have to put on billions and billions of dollars of positions, they can't do it in one afternoon. It typically takes about a month for those guys to get full exposure to a stock they like. So I look for those ripples and those currents happening early in the month, and I ride it for exactly a month. I'm not interested in being with them in the trade forever. I just want to be in that trade while the accumulation period is happening, which is usually about a month. I like certain commodities. I'm really, I think that oil has a very negative long-term secular outlook, in my opinion. So I'm always nervous trading oil from the long side. And the reason being, and you've seen the converse reaction of that electric vehicles are going to be more than half of all cars in very short order, something within 3 to 5 years. And so if we have that situation, and we live in this post-COVID world where people aren't traveling as much, you don't need as many, people aren't commuting the same way they used to. People aren't flying the same way they used to. Oil's got really strong headwinds against it. And so I am a little bit scared when I see the biggest, most reputable companies in the world, like Exxon, with yields above 7%. If you're yielding 7%, that's a junk bond in the olden days. And unfortunately, I know that because I'm from the olden days. So I'm a little nervous about that sector. I'd avoid that one. Well, I look at technicals from the standpoint of I like very basic market internals. I like the put call ratio. I like to look at volume. I like to look at relative strength. I'm not a big believer or subscriber to pictures of charts being certain setups. I like market internals, and there's one big thing that I really like because I'm a momentum guy. So what's really important for momentum guys to know is when momentum is stopping. And so I look at something called a key day reversal, which is a pattern that occurs when a stock makes a new high and then closes that same trading day lower than the previous day's close. But as far as like a picture of like a hanging hammer or something, that's just people looking at the clouds and seeing like, you know, the Holy Mother in their cheesesteak sandwich. For me, that's ghosts. But I like the internal technicals of the market. I follow that very strongly. I'm often long and short at the same time, but the idea being that the long is going to always is going to be a much better stock. If you look at AMD and Intel, which is a long short pair that I have on right now, that trade has worked for 3,000% over the last 5 years, which is much better than the stock market's done. And you've been short dollar for dollar the entire time. So I have different strategies that have different levels of short exposure. But if you find the right pair, you can still make a tremendous amount of money. You can make huge money being long short. And so what you don't do is you don't blow up when the market has a big correction and you're just sitting there all long. And so right now, a lot of people are bull market geniuses and they think that it's going to go on like this forever. And invariably it doesn't. And then when it doesn't, they realize the weakness in their strategy is they don't have any protection. I don't have that problem. Right now, there's been so much attention in stocks that I can't even believe it. I have friends that I haven't talked to in 20 years, texting me, Facebooking me, instant messaging me, Jeff, what's going on with the markets? Help me out. I need to make money. And for me, it's a double-edged sword. It's awesome because I believe in capitalism and I believe in investing and I believe in trading, but it also makes me very nervous because a lot of people are coming into this, and because of the shock of what we've just gone through globally with the pandemic, a lot of people are looking at the markets as a way to viably produce income, not just as a retirement thing, not just as a hobby. People are looking at this as a way for them to make their daily bread. And that is totally possible. And I've done it for 25 years. But if you don't know what you're doing, it can be incredibly risky and dangerous. And so for me, it's a double-edged sword. It's awesome because so many people have come to the market. It's a little bit like the old saying, everybody wins at the first time at the horse track. And so the market's been extremely bullish and a lot of people have made money in short order. But I'm nervous about what comes next because I've seen this play out before in the late 90s and the early 2000s. And I would caution against people getting in too much risk without really good know-how. And I would also suggest that if people don't have mentors that are teaching them how to trade and helping them identify what's actually happening in the market, people with like actual professional experience, they should really get it as quickly as possible. If you liked what you saw, please don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel right now. And if you have any questions that I didn't cover, email me at jeff@joyofthetrade.com. Also, you can click on this link on the page right now to subscribe to Joy of the Trade, where I update everything on the stocks that I'm looking at and what's going on in the markets.